Welcome to Linda's Corner. My name is Linda Bjork, and today we're going to be talking about digital marketing. I'm delighted to welcome special guest Brandon Leibowitz. Brandon got his start in digital marketing in 2007 after graduating from college with a degree in business marketing. Now he owns and operates his own digital marketing company called SEO Optimizers, and I'll include a link in the show notes. Welcome, Brandon. I'm so glad that you could join with me today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on today.
I am excited to learn from you today. The skill set that you bring to the table, Brandon, is so important because someone can come up with an amazing product or some service or a message, but it doesn't do anybody any good until it is shared. And that is where you come into play. And so I'm excited to learn about digital marketing. And digital marketing has many different facets, right? So we're going to talk about SEO and about social media and about maybe Google ads and even email marketing.
Yep, there's a lot with SEO or digital marketing. It's not just bringing you traffic one way. It's trying to just get traffic as many ways as possible. That's targeted traffic. So the more ways, the better. And the more ways you can get traffic to your website, the better off you're going to be. So definitely diversify and get traffic any way possible, even doing traditional marketing and word of mouth and referrals. But of course, they're always going to be the best, but even like doing TV and radio and stuff like that, any way to get traffic to your website. Because if not, people might not find it and it's going to be tough. So you got to kind of initiate it and give it that little boost and give it that nudge to get things started.
Exactly. Where do you want to start? Should we start with SEO and kind of explaining what that is and what some things we need to do to get that to work?
Yeah, with SEO, that is search engine optimization, which is getting you ranked on Google. So when you search on, or any search engine, but primarily Google, when you search on Google, there's ads at the top. Those are all paid ads, but right below that is organic, the free listings, and SEO is trying to get you in those free listings. So you're not paying every time someone clicks on your ad, which is the way the ads work. So anytime someone clicks on an ad, you're paying Google. It might be 10 cents a click. It could be 50 cents a click. It could be $1 a click. It could be $5 a click or $50 per click or $100 per click. So Google makes a lot of money off the ads. That's why the SEO is nice, because it's free traffic where you're not paying per click.
That is wonderful, because if you're paying all that money per click and you want a lot of people coming, that's a lot of dollars very, very quickly. And so let's help us learn, what do we need to do so that we can rank and show up? Because like you say, when we do a Google search and it'll come up with this little number across the top, like, oh, I found 2,573,000 options. It's like, whoa. So to be able to show up at all takes some skills. So what do we do?
You got to differentiate yourself and you got to build up trust, because there's so many websites out there that Google doesn't really trust anyone. So you could put keywords all over your website, but Google's not really going to trust you without what are called backlinks. They want to see other websites talking about you. The more websites that talk about you, the more trust Google is going to give to you. And then they look at the keywords on your website to figure out what to rank you for. But it doesn't work the other way around. You could build a website, make it perfectly optimized, put keywords all over it, do all the things that Google wants to see, but without backlinks, Google's just not going to trust you. So if you're reading an article on the LA Times and it says Brandon Leibowitz and you click on it and it goes to my website, then I'd be getting a backlink from the LA Times. So the more websites that mention me, the more trust Google is going to give to you. And then they're going to look at the keywords on your website.
That's interesting. I've never thought of it as trust, that Google or the whatever computer program they're using trusts you. So how do you get backlinks? How do you get people to recommend you?
That is the tricky part. There's different tools that will show me your backlinks or anyone's backlinks. So I could just search and see who's on that first page of Google and throw them into these different tools and look at all their backlinks. Because if they're on that first page of Google for my keywords or any keywords that I want to target, it's more than likely because of those backlinks. So they're all paid tools. You have to pay for them, but some of the more popular ones are called Ahrefs, Ahrefs, or Moz, or SEMrush, are some of the more popular ones where I would just pick one of them buy one of those tools and throw your competitors into there and look at all their backlinks. And then one by one, you can see who's linking to your competitors. And if they're linking out to your competitors, these websites, they probably would link out to you if you just figure out how your competition got out on those websites. Did they do a blog post or an article or press release or sponsor an event, or what do they do? There's a local directory that they're in, or there's a lot of different ways to get those backlinks. So in the past was just let's get all their backlinks. Now it's let's get the quality backlinks, because Google's changed a lot how they look at backlinks. And in the past is if I have 100 backlinks and you had 200, you would rank higher than me. Now it's all about quality. So whoever has the better quality backlinks, and quality backlinks to Google means a website that's related to you. So not just getting on any random website, but getting on a website that's related to you. That's really the main thing that Google's looking at.
Wow. And that is hard to fake. Like you can buy different things, but you can't buy this one, right? I mean, you have to actually have somebody who gives you a backlink, who reaches out and says, oh, this article over here is really good.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, there's always ways to fake it. That's why Google's updates their algorithm all the time, is primarily because of these backlinks. So what people will do and still do is they create their own websites. So they go create 20 websites and then link to themselves with those 20 websites. And essentially they're getting 20 backlinks, but it's all from their own websites. And it's called a private blog network. And Google catches on to things like this. It might take them some time, but eventually they catch it. And instead of ranking higher, you just drop down in rankings. And worst case scenario is you get kicked off Google permanently and lose all your rankings. So gotta be careful with what you do, because if you do the wrong things, instead of ranking higher, it's going to have the opposite effect.
Wow, that's kind of a scary gamble then. Okay, so SEO, that search engine optimization, is about keywords and backlinks. This is where things really seem to matter. And then you said that there is some paid services where we can find out what the backlinks are. And then from there, I guess you do some research to find out, how did you get on there? Or what do you do after you find out, so-and-so has this backlink?
Yeah, kind of what you said, just like reach out to that site. If you see they were published on like Cosmopolitan, and then you could reach out to that website, or who wrote that article, or if they're published on like New York Times or LA Times or any of these websites, there's usually or authors that you can reach out to and see how did they or why they included your competitor but not you, and give them that little nudge and be like, hey, I see you mentioned my competitor. I also offer similar product or service. Can you include me? I mean, you got to give them some reason why they should include you. Be like, hey, this article is from 5 years old. I saw that this piece is outdated. I just wanted to give you some news and update you on it. And by the way, can you add me? Or just kind of get creative with it, because you got to think they're getting pitched this all the time nowadays. So you got to stand out and differentiate yourself.
Imagine so. Okay. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so let's go to email marketing. How is that still effective, or does most of it just go to spam and trash? I mean, how do you not get sent to spam and trash?
I mean, you can see how much spam you get every single day. So spam or email still does work. It's just getting into the inbox is tricky. That's where you can't just buy a list of emails. You gotta have people sign up, subscribe somehow. You gotta give them something to in exchange for their email address. You can't just have a pop-up on your website saying, join my newsletter. Nobody cares about your newsletter. But if you offer them something saying, here's a free ebook, and then they get that ebook, and then they're subscribed to your newsletter, as long as you offer them good content in that email or in the follow-up emails, they'll say stay subscribed. But if you start promoting yourself, probably gonna lose that person. So you gotta just offer value, offer something that is value. If you're just promoting yourself in all these emails that you send out, it's just going to be an advertisement. People don't care about that. So like if you're a dentist, you could send out an email about why you're the best dentist, but nobody's going to read that. But if you send out an email about 7 tips to whiten your teeth, and in there you mention all these different tips, and then say, oh, don't forget, visit your dentist every year for your checkup, or we could help out with teeth whitening or something like that. So more subtle, giving value, that's going to be the best. So got to just take a step back and put yourself in the user's point of view. If you were getting your emails, would you stay subscribed, or are they just promotional? If they're just promotional, you got to change it up.
I like that. I like that you're putting yourself in the shoes of the person receiving the email. Is this junk to me, or would it be of value to me? Would I look forward to getting an email from this person because it's giving me something that I'm excited to read, or is it just garbage? And that just seems so obvious, but it isn't.
No, it's just like blogging on your own website. A lot of people just think the blog is to promote themselves, but the blog is the same thing as like the dentist example. If you write a blog post saying why you're the best dentist, not many people are going to read that blog post. But if you have a blog post about how to whiten your teeth in 7 steps, people are going to want to read that blog post. So keep it informational and never promotional. I mean, subtly you can promote yourself at the end, but you got to give value. You got to give information out. You can't just ask people for their email address or ask people to sign up to use your services without building up that trust and showing that you actually know what you're talking about. And that's where giving that value helps.
Wow, that is really cool. Okay, so we talked a little about SEO. We talked a little bit about email marketing. And if everybody followed what you just said, it would reduce that spam folder by like 95% if there was actual value coming in. Boy, that would be really nice. Okay, how about social media marketing? I mean, there's lots of Facebook and all the things, I guess. I mean, is there advertising on all of them?
For the most part, pretty much, yeah. I think almost all of them let you have advertisements. They all want to make money. I think, yeah, nowadays they all are happy to take the money.
Okay, is there some tips that makes something that someone wants to read, or is there a certain day or time that makes a difference? Is what works and what doesn't?
I would just say don't be everywhere. Just be where your audience is. A lot of people think with social, I need to be on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, all these other sites that are out there, which you might want to claim your username on all these sites, but being active isn't really necessary. You need to be where your audience is at. So kind of take a step back too, like put yourself in the user's point of view. If you were looking for your product or service, where would you go? Are you going to go on Google? Are you going to go on Facebook? Are you going to go on Twitter? You're going to go on Yelp? I mean, every business is going to be slightly different. So you just got to think like, if you're a dentist, probably not going to get many people looking for you on Facebook or Instagram. You might get some people, but most people are probably going to go on Google, find you there, and then check you out on social media to check out like reviews and see if you're still in business, if you have any status updates and things like that. But in general, social is more to build trust, but it does work for some things, like if you're selling products or have something that goes viral or something unique that people don't really search for, or if like you're a musician, it's gonna be tough. Like people don't really search for music on Google, so try to reach out on like social works really well. But yeah, it just really comes back to who your audience is and where would they be going for your content.
That just, again, seems obvious. And then I would imagine it would be the same thing as we talked about on the email marketing, where if you're going to put something on Facebook or on whatever, let's have it be something of value rather than just an ad. Because I know I'm not really a good social media person, but when I do check on and there's ads, it's like a fly. You just want to swat it away. You don't want to click on it.
Yeah, they're annoying. So with social, yeah, got to keep it all giving a value. The more you give out, the better it's going to be. And then I like to automate a lot too. So anytime I post on like my own blog, I'll have it go automatically share to my Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all these other sites by using different tools like Zapier. Zapier is a great tool. It's free and it'll automate a lot of your life and saves probably hours of work for me every single day just by auto posting stuff. So anytime you can even do it with social media. So you could pick, a lot of people use Instagram as like their primary social platform. And you can make it so anytime you post on Instagram, it'll automatically go to Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to Pinterest, to YouTube, to your website, to Reddit, to anywhere pretty much that you could post it on, using Zapier and other tools like that to help automate things and also schedule things out, using like Hootsuite or something to schedule all your posts on Instagram or whatever platform you're on. So I like to schedule everything out the entire month for Instagram. And then I don't have to really worry about the rest of social media channels because I post on Instagram, it's going to automatically post to all my other social media sites. And all I have to do is log in, check out the comments or messages, or if there's anything topical that I need to post. But other than that, you could just kind of set it and forget it. So anything to help save time with social is going to be great. So Zapier is a great free tool. Hootsuite, you have to pay for, but it's worth Hootsuite or Buffer, or there's a bunch of scheduled tools out there. But Zapier saves so much time.
So do you put your post on Zapier or do you put it on Instagram? If you put it on Zapier, does it send to Instagram and all the things? Or how do you tell me some more? This sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I know you set up all these rules on Zapier. So essentially you're saying Zapier creates all these things saying if I post on Instagram, if I post a video on Instagram, post that video on YouTube. So it'll do all these things like that and does a lot of other things. It automates a lot of stuff in your life. It is probably one of the best websites out there that offers a free service. It's a little complicated setting it all up, but they have support that will walk you through it. Even if you have a free account, have a paid account, because after you do a lot of tasks, they're like, all right, we could give you 1,000 tasks for free, I think, a month, or 100 tasks, but after that, you have to pay like $10. But you with the free package, they'll offer support, walk you through setting it all up because it gets a little complicated. But once it's set up, you can just set it and forget it, and then it'll automate a lot in your life and save a lot of time.
That is amazing. That understanding and knowing what the tools are and how to use it when you talk about, set it and forget it, that could make all the difference in the world. I remember reading an article from someone who was doing I think it was a blog, and she said, okay, so this is how you're successful. I spend all of my time here and all the people in my life, I ignore them. And I thought, oh, that is a very terrible plan. I don't want to do what you're doing. So I like the set it and forget it, and let's spend time elsewhere. Fantastic. Let's see. How about Google Ads? Are they worth it, or is that something that's, I don't know, you don't need?
No, ads work, definitely. I mean, you have to pay per click. So anytime someone clicks on your ads, you're paying, but they do work. It just comes down to how much is the click. Each industry, every click or every keyword search is going to be a different cost. So some clicks might be a couple cents. Some clicks could be a couple dollars or 50 or $100. So it just adds up and depends on your return on your investment. How much do you make off a sale, off a lead or whatever you're promoting versus what is the cost? So Google ads work really well compared to like Facebook ads, where Facebook ads are cheaper for a reason because you're kind of interrupting people based off interest. Doesn't necessarily mean they want to use your product or service at this moment. They might have in the past or in the future, but doesn't necessarily mean they care right now. But with Google, someone's searching, they're showing intent, they're actively looking. So it's a little bit different with Google. So those ads work pretty well. They're a little bit more expensive, but you get quality out of it. That's really what matters.
Wow. Okay. So what's going to make the difference between if it's 10 cents or $10 per click?
More people that are advertising. So if we're selling, like say like tennis shoes, you could say to Google, I'll spend $1 per click. And I'll say, I'll spend $1.01 per click. You'll spend $1.02. I'll spend $1.03. And we keep bidding it up. And over the 20 something years that Google's been around, it's been bid up really high. So keywords like that get bid up pretty high. Stuff where it's not as competitive, less competition out there, the less expensive the keywords will be. The more competitive the keywords are, the more expensive it becomes because there's more people willing to spend money on it. Like car insurance is going to be like $100 per click because if you sign up for car insurance, you're probably going to be with that company for a while, hopefully, and you're probably recommend your friends and family, hopefully, if they're doing a good job. So they know the lifetime value of the customer is worth spending $100 per click, even though they know probably one or maybe 3 out of 100 might become a client or might become a lead. So they're willing to spend a lot of money just to get those leads because they know the value of the lifetime of that customer. So I was just trying to figure out what's the profit margin, what's my return on my investment, and how can I make sure I just break even or not break, but make a positive return on my investment.
So behind the scenes, when I'm typing into Google and doing my search word, it's saying, okay, so with those people who want this search word and have been paying for their ads, they bid out, and then the highest bidder is going to be ranked on top. And then the next bidder, is that how I get my ads? And then down is the the organic ones?
Yep, for the most part, there's some other variables that go into it, but that's how they do it. Then they have quality score and all these other things that they look at, like your landing page and the click-through rate of your keywords, making sure the keywords are in the ads and all these other technical things. But primarily, it comes down to the money. The more you're willing to spend, the higher up Google's going to rank you. But if you have a really bad website, they're going to be like, maybe we shouldn't rank you, because they also want to make sure that you get sales. Because if you're not getting sales, you're going to stop spending money on Google ads. So they don't want to just rank you like if you're selling like tennis shoes, and then I'm trying to rank for keywords like automotive body shop or something. Google's be like, no, this doesn't make sense. Like, why are you bidding on this keyword? Even if I'm willing to spend $100 per click, Google's not going to rank me for that because it just doesn't make sense. So it comes down to some relevancy with that as well.
That seems logical. So what about keywords? Is there a place you can look up to find what keywords people are looking at?
There's a ton of different tools out there. The Google Keyword Planner is a free tool from Google that will show you how many people search for your keyword every single month. So I would start with the Google Keyword Planner. There's other paid tools out there, but they're all pretty much pulling data from the Google Keyword Planner and just making it look nicer in graphs and stuff. So Keyword Planner from Google, it's good enough. And you throw one keyword in there, and it's going to show you hundreds of variations of that keyword. And it'll show you how many people search for that keyword every single month. So really, you don't even need to make a list of keywords. You can just put one in there and Google will do the work for you. But it is good to make a big list of keywords and try to write down as many keywords as possible and throw it into that tool, because the more keywords you're going to put in there, the more variations, the more synonyms, plurals, and industry slang terms that you might not have thought of will start emerging.
So if you write in one keyword, Google does all the variations for you. Is that what you're suggesting?
Google is like, hey, if you want to spend money on this one keyword, here's 1,000 other keywords like it that you could spend money on, because the tool is really for ads. So Google's like, oh, if you want to bid on the word tennis shoes, here's 1,000 other ways to bid on the word tennis shoes, like shoes for tennis, shoes to play tennis, tennis shoes, tennis footwear, all these variations and stuff like that.
Wow. Boy, there's so much going on that I don't think about when I'm just searching for something and thinking of the behind the scenes and this bidding war going on. I think I'm going to pay more attention now to those ads up top and see, and I'll just be thinking, wow, they've invested a lot of money hoping that I'm going to click. And they pay whether or not I click, right? They pay to be shown.
Well, only if you click. So if you don't click, they're not paid. So you can just see them and they're just kind of getting like a free advertisement. But if you're
Oh,
not clicking,
really?
you're probably going to forget about them. You're not going to really remember that company.
Fascinating.
But
Okay.
there's other ads that work pretty well with Google, like YouTube. Google owns YouTube. So you can do video ads on YouTube. You can do banner ads. You can do Gmail ads. But YouTube is pretty good because they give you 30 seconds free. So if you watch a video ad on YouTube and skip it after 29 seconds, you don't pay a penny. After 30 seconds, then you only pay a couple cents per view. So that's a lot cheaper because it all comes down to the bidding. Less people are making videos, less people are bidding on those video keywords because people don't make as many videos. It's a lot easier just to throw a keyword up there and say, I'll pay per click for this keyword. But making a video requires a lot more work. We have to film yourself and it's a bigger barrier to entry, but it works a lot better. And you get 30 seconds free, which is really nice.
Really? Because a lot of times when I'm watching a video, it'll say, video will resume after ads, and they're only like 6 seconds or 15 seconds or something long. So are those free to the people who are putting the ads out?
No, so there's a bunch of different ads they run. So sometimes if they have a shorter video, then no matter what, if it's a 6-second video, then you're paying if somebody watches 6 seconds because that's your whole video. So they count it as a view. But there's also other types of views that the video ads that they do. But the best one really is the one where it's the free 30 seconds. So there's a ton of different video ads or tons of different ads that you can run on YouTube. Some are shorter, like you're saying, but the video one where it's the beginning of the video, it says skip this ad after 5 seconds. Those ads can be 2 hours long. And it doesn't matter if you watch 3 minutes or 3 hours of that video ad, you pay the same amount per view. So those ads are pretty nice that Google or YouTube will let you do that.
And those, are they reasonable or are they pretty spendy?
No, only like 5 or 10 cents per view, and you could set a daily budget of $1, $5 a day, and it's going to work a lot better than doing a normal, just a keyword based ad.
Fascinating. Wow, there's so much to this. I'm so glad that you know what you're doing because people need someone who knows what they're doing. So, is there anything else you want to make sure that we cover before we close today?
That covers the majority of it. I would just say do everything. Don't just do one thing. Do as much as you can to try to get traffic, and it all works together. So don't just try to do SEO by itself or do email by itself. I mean, they're all going to work. Email is probably going to be the best, most effective, but getting email addresses is pretty tough. So gotta just figure out that incentive, some way to get those emails. But email really is going to be the best. If you collect those emails, those are yours forever versus social media, you're just renting off space off these social media sites. So it's not really yours, that website. The ads, you have to pay for them. SEO, it works, it just takes some time, but the email, that's always yours.
Really? And then do you use something like MailChimp or something to send a thing out or?
Yeah, like Aweber or Constant Contact or MailChimp or tons of other ones out there, but those are kind of the three bigger ones where you just pick one and just stick with it. Doesn't really matter which one you use, but as long as you have something to help you out, that way it gets inboxed and not in the spam, and they help make sure everything is done properly.
That's really cool. Well, thank you so much for visiting with me today, Brandon. This has been very enlightening.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today.
In closing, I'd like to share a quote by Tom Fishburne. He said, "The best marketing doesn't feel like marketing." See you next time on Linda's Corner. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode of Linda's Corner, please share and subscribe to help us reach new listeners. I also invite you to check out my nonprofit, Hope for Healing, at the website hopeforhealingfoundation.org for free ebooks, free audiobooks, and other free resources to help increase happiness, build confidence and self-esteem, strengthen relationships, manage stress, and calm feelings of depression and anxiety. I also invite you to grab a copy of one of my books, like Crushed, A Journey Through Depression, or Amazon bestseller, You Got This, an action plan to calm fear, anxiety, worry, and stress. See you next time on Linda's Corner.